Hello everyone! Now on night 4 of FNAF 1, we have this legendary phone call.
Oh, hello! Hey, wow, day 4. I knew you could do it. Hey, listen, I may not be around to send you a message tomorrow. It's been a bad night here for me. I'm kind of glad that I recorded my messages for you when I did. Hey, do me a favor. Maybe sometime you could check inside those suits in the back room. I'm going to try to hold out until someone checks. Maybe it won't be so bad. I always wondered what was in all those empty heads back there. You know. Oh no.
Now that phone call in itself gives us more questions than it does answers. For example, does he really get killed? If so, who killed him? And is there any evidence to suggest that he even survived that night? And if so, what happened to him? Well, don't worry my friends, because all that is going to be answered in today's video. First off, let's assume the phone guy was killed. The phone call itself reveals very little about who actually killed him. And the lack of information itself makes solving his death even more intense. Now we'll come back to him actually surviving later, but let's for now assume he was killed. Who did it? Now the odd thing about the phone call is one of the first lines is the fact that phone guy knew he wasn't going to be around tomorrow.
Oh, I'm not here tomorrow.
Either way you look at it, he was going to get himself away from there because he knew something was going to happen to him. Now phone guy says some really cryptic messages towards the end, but we'll come back to that later as well. The facts are, it's obvious that phone guy was definitely attacked by an animatronic because we hear the screeching sound made at the end of the call, just like when we get attacked, right? It's also very safe to assume that Freddy was also involved in the attack in some way, because obviously we hear his theme playing in the background. It's also very important to note that just because we hear his theme, that doesn't mean he is the one who did the killing, if a killing even occurred. Also, towards the end of the call, just before we hear the screech, a moan can be heard.
Oh no.
This moan is actually one of the noises that Chica and Bonnie make when they're in your office in FNAF 1. Again, that is leading us to believe they were also there and involved somehow. Already, that's 3 out of the original 4, but there's also proof Foxy was also present because we hear the banging on the door. Foxy is the only animatronic who bangs on the door to your office, and it sounds exactly like one of his bangs. See, you can see Foxy right there, look, got a little toy of him. Whee! This now means that all 4 animatronics were present at the phone guy's house. But wait, there's a lot more than just that. The scream at the very end of the call is the scream of Golden Freddy. This now means that all animatronics, including Golden Freddy, were at Phone Guy's house, an extremely rare event. In fact, I don't know of any other situation where all the animatronics have been together apart from Phone Guy's house or when Afton was killed. What this literally means then is that the Phone Guy was in a 5v1 versus all the animatronics. I mean, what a literal giga chat. But the question has to be asked, why are the animatronics so hell-bent on taking him down? He's just a normal guy, right? Well, obviously he isn't. There's far more to this story than meets the eye. You see, in FNAF 2, he clearly holds a position of power. He's talking to you as if he's a manager or a higher up in the company. He's always giving you directions, and it's worth also noting that we never once hear of his position in the company. He must clearly be respected and trusted by Henry and William respectively to be able to induct these employees and tell everyone the rules. Just like the phone guy in the FNAF movie, who turned out to be William Afton. Now, am I saying that phone guy is purple guy? I mean, he also knows how to use the original spring-lock suits, which only a select few people know how to do. But yet he doesn't know about Fredbear's family diner. That in itself seems awfully suspect. I mean, he'd have to know about that because that's where they were used originally, right? And he's been in the company a very long time. There's something entirely off about phone guy in itself. I mean, even his sprite has him holding a picture of the fawn, and if you look at all the evidence in itself, especially over the first 4 FNAF games, it definitely seems like he is the purple guy. The movie outright says it as well. Coupled with the fact we have the entire gang of the animatronics turning up at Phone Guy's house, that's assuming the attack took place at his house. It might have been in the security room or even the hidden room. We still haven't solved that, by the way, but we're coming back to that later. Makes you think there's far more going on with Phone Guy than meets the eye. He was present at every major FNAF location pre-FNAF 4. He knows about the Springlock suits. He doesn't like the puppet, just like William Afton doesn't. Hides basically all of Fazbear Entertainment's secrets and tries to play down every single occurrence at the pizza place. He was clearly present at the FNAF 1 location in 1993, and then it got me thinking. Phone Guy's recording these messages, right? What if he wasn't recording them from his house? Well, at least the last message on night 4 anyway. He was actually recording these messages in one of the rooms in Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. That also then lines up perfectly with William Afton's death in FNAF 1. Because Phone Guy all but disappears and then William Afton suddenly comes onto the scene. Because up until that point, he was always called Purple Guy. The reveal of William Afton also seemed to wipe out the Phone Guy. Seems a bit of a coincidence here. I mean, it gives motive for why every single animatronic in that pizza place wants to attack and kill the Phone Guy, because he's William Afton. Now, I know that's a lot to take in, and we still haven't deciphered who actually did the killing blow on Phone Guy. Now, there is definitely evidence to say that William Afton could have been the Phone Guy, but that's an entire video in itself. But a more realistic approach to this, I mean, if you can even have realistic with Five Nights at Freddy's, is the fact that William Afton was Phone Guy's manager. He was there pulling the strings, maybe even blackmailing Phone Guy, because Phone Guy is keeping all the secrets. He clearly knew about the animatronics being possessed. He knew his time was coming from the original phone call. They were out to get him, and he doesn't seem shocked by this. He's not worried that there are killer animatronics at the door. He just sees this as normal because he knows all about them anyway. And this is it. This is the kicker for me. If Phone Guy really was William Afton, why then does he say in his message, the really cryptic message at the end, to go and look in the old suits' heads? Basically telling you to go and find these stuffed kids in these animatronics and expose what was going on. If it was William Afton, he wouldn't want his work exposed. That wouldn't line up with William Afton's dialogue. So that tells me that Phone Guy and William Afton were more than likely separate. But here's the confusing thing about this call. Why didn't he call family members or anybody else? He chooses to call you. He even encourages you to go and find his body, which is suspect in itself. And because he was killed by the animatronics, surely his soul would have gone in an animatronic as well? Just by the laws of FNAF and possession and agony and remnant, surely he would now become an animatronic. That gets people thinking about Shadow Freddy potentially and Shadow Bonnie, but I'm not getting into that into this video. Regardless of who attacked him, and this is where it gets extremely interesting here. We know that 1 out of them 5 attacked and killed Phone Guy. It's near enough impossible to say who exactly killed him because we're not there. We have very limited evidence. But regardless of what evidence we have for his location, we know one thing for sure, and that is there was a closed door at that location. The banging sound clearly implies that Foxy was at the door. That eliminates him. Freddy usually plays his jingle before he kills the player, and obviously he does this when the power goes out specifically. The power obviously didn't go out because Phone Guy was still recording. If the power went out, 1, we'd have the power of the generator going down, and 2, his device he was recording on would cut off. Again, that's assuming if Phone Guy recorded his message in the office in FNAF 1, which we don't know he did for sure. Meaning there could be multiple ways into his location if it wasn't the original security office. Therefore, Chica, Bonnie, even Golden Freddy and Freddy himself could easily attack the Phone Guy. But the real kicker here, the thing which basically solves it all for me, is that scream at the end of the call. It's Golden Freddy's scream. The leader of the pack, he was there with the other animatronics, and he would be the one to land the killing blow. He is the alpha dog of the animatronics. He was the one who killed the Phone Guy. And even if you wanted to get into the route of that he was William Afton, it still would have took place in that safe room, and Golden Freddy would still be the one to chase William Afton around the safe room into the Springlock suit where he dies anyway. But wait, there's even more proof for this. In Into the Pit, there's a secret dialogue option. If you dial a number, it connects to William Afton's phone. And what do we hear? The Springlock incident. first, I didn't think anything of this, but looking into it now, it shows he has a mobile phone on him at that point in time, indicating he could have easily been the one making them phone calls from that safe room. That situation is exactly the same situation with the phone guy. All the animatronics were there, including Golden Freddy, and Golden Freddy was the one there calling the shots. But all that, as you know, is just a theory. Had to put that in there for you fellow theorists. And with that, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, friends. Let me know in the comments below. Do you think that Golden Freddy killed Phone Guy? Do you think Phone Guy is actually Purple Guy? Let me know below. And a special thanks to my YouTube members on screen. Now, you help make these videos. And an even more special thanks to William Plays, who's a golden twisted one, and Bill Carter, who is actually a twisted animatronic, the ultimate theorist. And thank you for watching till the very end. That's a Twisted Theory, and stay safe out there, superstars.